You know, on Twitter one time I saw someone saying that they stand Hitler. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Zhariya Smith, and I typically make commentary videos just like this one. So if you guys happen to like that, or you just happen to like my gorgeous face, make sure to subscribe down below and hit the notification bell to get notified every single time I post, which happens to be on Mondays and on Fridays. Hi besties. How are we doing today? Today's candle is French Country Vanilla, because I like that candle. I mean, I need some more candles. So if you guys have some candle recommendations, I kind of want to start buying Jackie Aina's candles, but I don't know how stuff smells. So if you have any reviews on Forever Mood, I believe that's the name of her brand, let me know in the comments, or DM me on Instagram or Twitter. Link in the description. But either way, I was scrolling through Twitter. Like I said, I made a joke that I feel like I need to make merch that says, so I was scrolling through Twitter, because almost all of my videos start out with, I was scrolling through Twitter. But all that aside, like I said, I was scrolling through Twitter, and I was just thinking about how, well, if you don't know right now, I'm not going to comment on it, but right now there is drama between Gabby Hanna and the internet once again, and I've been seeing a lot of her fans, you know, sticking up for her, saying like, oh, well, she's right and everybody else is wrong and blah, blah, blah. And I started thinking, whenever I see a person whose profile picture is their favorite celebrity and their Instagram name is in some way, or Twitter name is in some way related to that celebrity / public figure / influencer, I am 1,000% less likely to literally listen to them at all. And I don't know really, well, I know why it is. And then I started thinking about like, oh, well, stans are sometimes very, you know, toxic and very, you know, problematic. And then I ended up on this video. So if you want to hear me talk trash about stans for 15 minutes or however long this is going to be, keep on watching. So you might be asking me, because, you know, I am the all-knowing person on this channel, what a stan is. Now, stan actually refers to a song written by Eminem in, I believe, 2002 or 2001, about a crazy fan who would constantly write him letters, and then when Eminem never responded to these letters because he was touring and, you know, very busy, the fan drives his pregnant girlfriend and himself off of a bridge for not responding to his letters. So, you know, just typical stan behavior. And the song was called Stan because that was the name of the fan, Stan. Though I don't believe that's an actual real story. I think it's just like a dramatized version of like what could happen. But you'll see, that's just like the minimum. That's like not even, when you think about stans and you think about some of the stuff that some stans have done, you see that's not even like out of the blue. So either way. The Oxford Dictionary describes stan as an overzealous, obsessive fan of a particular celebrity. However, I feel like saying someone is overzealous is quite the understatement when it comes to stans. And if you are a stan, or if you're not and you think that you are one, keep on watching, because I'm going to tell you if you are or not. But if it doesn't apply to you, then don't come to my comments and be like, well, I'm not like that. Was I talking about you? No. Either way, to continue on. The personal definition that I remember hearing all the time on Tumblr, you know, back when I had a popular Tumblr account, you won't know what it is, so don't even try to find it. But my understanding of stan was the combination of the words stalker and fan. Combine those together, you get stan. So with that, you know, understanding, that is what a stan is. A stan is someone who is a fan of someone, but to the ultimate extremes, to the point to where they could be considered legally a stalker. Very over obsessive, very, you know, cutthroat. Not saying every single fan is like this. Obviously, every single fan isn't like this, but it's to put in some perspective. So if you are not overly obsessed with, let's say, Ariana Grande, then you are not technically an Ariana Grande stan. And you also shouldn't want to strive to be anyone's stan, because that's crazy. If you identify as a stan and you know what being a stan is, which is a soccer fan, and you're okay with being called that, that is a problem, and you need to assess that within yourself. But all that aside, stan culture, in another essence, is an online phenomenon in which communities of soccer fans or stans engage in overly enthusiastic support of a favorite celebrity online. This is called stanning, including at times vehement, coordinated attacks against detractors and critics. A good example of this is, for instance, I feel like Gabby Hanna definitely has like a very, very strong fan base. She has a very she's very connected to her fans. I feel like in kind of sometimes a very toxic way, which I'm not even going to talk about in this video, but she has very, intense fans. I'd say Nicki Minaj, Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande sometimes. I'm not even going to talk about K-pop in this video because I swear to God. On side note on K-pop stans, if a person talks about police brutality, why are you commenting a fan cam about V? I see it all the time. A person will talk about injustices, about getting in a car accident, about, anything that's not related to K-pop, and I scroll down to see the replies, and I just see a fan cam of some random K-pop star or stars. We need to discuss, that's a whole other video, but I don't know enough about K-pop to talk about that. So we'll move on. But this is also connected to, in a way, Stan Twitter, which is a community of Twitter users that post opinions related to music, celebrities, TV shows, music, and social media. The community has been noted for its particular shared terminology. Usually Stan Twitter revolves around discussing actors, singers, rappers, or anyone that fits in the definition of a celebrity, such as influencers. Now, what I want to quickly make a side note on, and I do have a whole video about the gentrification of Black culture. You're welcome to watch that. It's very long. It's my first video essay, so, whatever. But what I will say in that video, I do talk about this Stan language and this Gen Z language and Twitter slang. And it's not that. It's African American vernacular English. So that's just a random side note. So that is a stan. And now in the next section of this video, we're going to talk about, you might be asking me, if you're still confused, and I am the all-knowing person here. I am the one that knows. I need to stop talking like this because I feel like someone's going to take a clip and be like, Zhariya said this and then mess up on research, and whatever, I guess. But you might be asking me, Zhariya, you're explaining what a stan is. I think I might be one, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to sit here and tell you if you are a stan or not. And I'm going to be doing this with the celebrity worship scale. Now, in a paper titled The Conceptualization and Measurement of Celebrity Worship, which was written by Lynn McCutcheon, Rent Lang, and James Horan. I know I pronounced that wrong, but I'll put it on the screen. Basically, in this paper, they talk about celebrity worship, and they talk about the different stages of worship and idolizing celebrities, which you should definitely not do in this paper. So these are the levels, folks. And I would say, for the most part, I am a low of this, slightly higher maybe, but low worship involves individualistic behaviors such as watching and reading about a celebrity. So it's not necessarily like you might follow them, you might not. You could keep up with them generally, but you don't care that much in the essence of I would watch Big Time Rush, but I wouldn't, go to Big Time Rush tours. I wouldn't do anything like that, or I liked Britney Spears or I liked Paris Hilton, but I wasn't actively following their lives. Like that. So you're still a fan of them, but you're just not, your life isn't encompassed by the celebrity, right? So then we get to the middle tiers, which would be celebrity worship taking on social character, which would mean that you keep up with them. You follow them on Twitter. You follow everything that they do. You will like stuff that they do. You're definitely not a part of a fandom, most likely, but you do enjoy this celebrity. I would say for this would be me and Kanye West. I happen to like Kanye West very, very much. I follow him. But I'll get into Kanye West later because I feel I have a really good analogy I'm going to get into. But so I'd say middle tier is you really, really like the celebrity and you also keep up with them. You watch pretty much every single thing that they put out if you can and you care about them. However, The highest levels are characterized by a mixture of empathy with the celebrity's successes and failures over celebrity successes. Okay. So then the highest levels are characterized as a mixture of empathy with the celebrity's successes and failures, over identification with the celebrity, compulsive behaviors, as well as obsession with the details of the celebrity's life. This would be the bling ring. This would be you knowing where random celebrities live at the top of your head, knowing a celebrity's blood type, knowing their entire family and their relatives, knowing where they went to school, knowing, any detail about them that is not surface level. And you see them as someone that is your family. You do not see them as someone who is a celebrity you're looking up to, or maybe you do, but in a very, very toxic, idolizing, religious figure type of way, kind of like a cult type of moment. That's the high level. You don't want to be on the high level at all. At all. And stans fall under this high level. So, answer down below. Are you a low level, medium/intermediate level, or are you a high level? And if you are a high level, I'm not going to tell you that you're crazy. But I would say seek help. Genuinely. Now we're going to get into the bulk of the video. We're going to get into my opinions. So, facts are not opinion. No, backtrack. Opinions are not facts. And this section is mostly my opinion. I will be pulling in some facts, but look, these are my opinions. And if you are a stan and you are angry with me, at least comment down below so I can get the engagement. But this is my problem with stans for the most part. I think my biggest issue with stans and stan culture and stan Twitter is defending celebrities who, well, you don't know them, but defending celebrities and influencers and whoever else, even if they're wrong. If you will fight tooth and nail to comment down below in my comment section that Chet Hanks isn't racist when he justifies saying the N-word, I don't. What? Huh? Are you hearing yourself right? Or, for instance, on my video about the evolution of Tana Mongeau, like I said, I might refilm that video because I really don't like it anymore. Well, how I did it. But one of her fans commented on that video about me being what was it? Hold on. So I had called out Tana Mongeau for filming a dead body, for driving while on Xanax, for being literally she wasn't even just racist. She was being super racist towards Colin and Nessa. I was calling her out, and I did an evolution of everything wrong with Tana Mongeau. And a Tana Mongeau stan commented on my video about my wig, which, I just whatever, but said, the wig is awful. Just because she hasn't posted does not mean she's not a believer in the movement. I really hope you loose over this video with a peace sign. I don't know how a person could sit and watch that video and tell me that I'm wrong. You're going to sit here and you're going to tell me that I'm wrong?
You're going to look at me and you're going to tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong?
Type energy. Now you can just go through on my video about where I review Sia's movie music. There are so many Sia stans in those comments telling me that I suck, that I can't review movies despite being a film student, that I'm stupid, that I do not know what I'm talking about, and Sia's allowed to do whatever she wants, and blah 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 blah. I don't care. I make commentary channels. I critique, and you want to know what I also give? My opinions. So, if I give my opinion and you don't like it, oh well. Literally, oh well. It's not the end of the world if someone doesn't agree with you. Because I'm here to have a debate, but I'm not here for you to just tell me that I'm wrong. But that is my thing. I feel like that stans will go above and beyond. There are so many times, and I hate mentioning Gabby Hanna so much, but also Gabby Hanna fans are very notorious for berating and harassing other people who don't disagree with Gabby, off of the internet. Also, so many, toxic fandoms and fan groups or whatever that will just kick other people off of platforms for being literally harassed. Like, even like Hella Lush, like Hella Lush has like a whole thing where she talks about her situation with Gabby Hanna, and I definitely recommend watching it. Also a fan of Gabby Hanna's. It is crazy how like far and above and beyond stans will go just to get validation from their favorite creator who doesn't even know who they are and probably never will. You know. We've also seen, in the same essence, my problem with stans is that celebrities have literally been killed by their biggest fans. Can you imagine? Imagine how stalkery, imagine how unhinged you must be to murder the person that you idolize the most. That's scary. But examples of this are Christina Grimmie, John Lennon, Selena, and Gianni Versace. There's probably so much more, but those are the ones that just popped up off my head while I was writing notes for this video. And that's crazy. Because, like, we're bringing up murder now? Like, oh, we're rocking with murder in 2021? Like, what? That's crazy. That's literally crazy. You know? And you shouldn't want to kill for a celebrity, and you shouldn't want to kill a celebrity just because you love them so much. Because if you love someone so much that you want to just murder them, seek help. The more you know. Also, I want to say my issue with stans, lastly, is fans overstepping their boundaries. I mean, like, I could probably find a compilation on YouTube of the amount of YouTubers that have mentioned other people showing up to their house. If you show up to my house, well, you can't. That's a whole other thing. But do not show up to people's houses. Whenever I become famous and I'm an actress and all this stuff, and I live, you know, in the hills or wherever, and you try to pull up to my house with a little autograph, like, can I please get your autograph? I love you so much. Can I get a picture? But I'm like, no, you're not going to get met with the nice, sweet Zhariya you would meet on the side of the road. You would get met with a panicked, scared, fight or flight Zhariya. Similarly with other celebrities, you don't just show up to people's houses. You don't put stuff in their mailboxes. You don't do stuff like that. Like, that's weird. Am I crazy with this? And, like, you'll hear, like, stans be like, oh, well, we just love them so much. Like, can we talk about that weird, like, fever dream that was Team 10? Like, they really had, like, hoes. I shouldn't say hoes because they were, like, 8. But they really had these girls lined up outside of their house every single morning to get a glimpse of Jake Paul or James Crunch? What's his name? Nick Crompton. Is it Nick Crompton? I don't know how I somehow pulled James Crunch out of Nick Crompton. I am so sorry if Nick Crompton watches this. But, like, just to catch a glimpse of these creators, Tessa Brooks, the twins, you know, it's crazy. Like, you should not, you know, you shouldn't just post your address anyways. I mean, people are gonna find it anyways, but I think it's just, like, you know, safety precaution. Because, like, I know where Jeffree Star lives, but will I show up to, I'm also not a fan of him, like, literally at all. But I'm like, would I show up to his house? No. I love Kanye West. You think I would pop up at that man's house? No, that's crazy, you know? We also have fans showing up to funerals, and not necessarily for the celebrities, but showing up for the celebrities' like parents. Like, I remember specifically with the Dolan twins when fans were showing up to their dad's funeral. It's mental illness, isn't it? Like, what? And then also, like, just finding their locations randomly. Like, when Lil Dicky... oh, this is so funny, because, like, this was in the beginning of the pandemic, but Lil Dicky was walking, like, out in a restaurant, and somehow Hollywood Fix found him. Fletcher, well, I have a video on paparazzi, but paparazzi are just weird. And, like, finding out their locations, like, that's creepy. Like, you should not know where Bethany Moda is because you saw a corner of her shoulder that showed that she was at a coffee shop, and you located the interiors of coffee shops for, 30 minutes, and then found out that it was a specific one that's in Melrose, and you and your buddies drove over to Melrose to go and see Bethany Moda. That's a extreme example, but, like, that happened. Or, like, the fact that Tana Mojo got exposed for sleeping or being with Jake Paul because she took a Snapchat and it looked like his bed frame, and his fans were like, that's Jake Paul's bed frame. That's creepy. That's creepy. That's literally creepy. Like, you should not you should not. As simple as that. Either way, last section of this video, do not idolize people that you don't know, or really don't idolize people at all. I mean, unless you're doing organized religion, you know, do whatever you want. But do not idolize people that you do not know. This is the first step of accidentally joining a cult, by the way. So people that you do not know, they get canceled. And I don't even mean in essence the cancel culture, which I have a video on. I might refilm it, or like refilm an updated version of that. But people get canceled, and not in the essence of like, oh, you know, they licked a donut and Krispy Kreme. Not that. But like, you truly do not know who a person is. You do not know their life from start to finish. You know, you could love a creator for years and then find out that they're, you know, racist or homophobic or transphobic or any of the isms. You might find that out, and then it's like you have to sit back and think like, does that mean I'm still going to be a fan of them, or am I just going to move on? You know, they can be horrible people. Like, I heard rumors about Winnie Harlow being a horrible person, which I hope she isn't, because she, you know, is paving ways for, you know, other people. But that just like, you don't know how people are. Like Bretman Rock literally talked about how he had met David Dobrik, and David Dobrik was like, who are you again? After Bretman just won like an award, you know. People are not as nice as they may seem. So it's like, how can you sit here and defend someone that you do not know at all? And I can get looking at receipts, and I can understand, you know, getting the facts and all this stuff, but like, you truly do not know that person. You do not know what's going on through their head. They could post 3 podcasts a week, 4 vlogs. They can show their entire life, and you still will not know them. So just stop, you know. And some celebrities and YouTubers commit literal crimes. Like, I see people that are Dirty Dom apologists. And if you don't know what Dirty Dom did, you can find out somewhere else on YouTube, not here. There are people who say like, oh, well, like when Bryce Hall beat up the people in that Mexican restaurant, people are like, oh, well, he's, you know, a troubled teen. I mean, he's not even a teenager, but like, or like when he peed off of a balcony, people are like, oh, well, he's a superstar. He can pee off of balconies. That's not that bad. Or when I call out Tana Moser for filming a dead body, you're like, oh, well, you know, that's like not that bad. She was so young. I'm like, Logan Paul was young too, you know? So what my baseline is that you do not know who people are. Now, I am me, you know, but also I could be literally lying to you right now. I'm not saying that I am, but you do not know. The internet is a strange place. The internet is a crazy place. I've been on the internet for, you know, over a decade. So unfortunately, I've seen everything. But you do not know who people are online, and you know how your parents say like, don't trust strangers online, don't talk to strangers online. Like, you probably should listen to them, because like, you should not be sitting there obsessing over random celebrities. And like, you also shouldn't just tooth and nail defend celebrities that you don't know, because for instance, I love Kanye West. It's one of, I guess you could say, my greatest faults, or, you know, I appreciate good music, but I love Kanye West. I always have. And when Kanye West was running for president, I called him out multiple times on my Twitter. Like, I love his music, but I'm not going to sit here and, like, you know, just be like, oh, well, Kanye, he's just, you know, in a horrible place and he's mentally ill. Like, I'm not going to sit here there and defend him for saying crazy stuff, you know. And people who are like, oh, well, R. Kelly didn't touch me, so I'm going to listen to him. Or like, oh, well, Tory Lanez didn't shoot me, so I'm going to still listen to him. I'm like, okay, so you just do not care about other people. If a person literally starts committing crimes and you're just like, oh, well, it's not their fault. Sit back, assess, think about it, really, really dig on it. Like, huh? But either way, that's my video. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, because it really, really helps small channels like mine. Make sure to also subscribe down below, because next month I do want to get to 3,000 subscribers. That make me so happy. Also, let me know how you feel about the video. Comment down below. I feel like whenever I say comment down below, I get more comments and more engagement. So comment, let me know your opinions. And yeah, so make sure to stay happy and stay healthy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.